talk about it. India versus England, or rather England versus India. The first T20I starts on the 28th of June. It's coming live from Trent Bridge, Nottingham, and then you, of course, from there go to Bristol, to London, to Manchester and Birmingham, which reminds me of someone else's itinerary too, but yeah, no.
Someone knows it at the back of the...
Exactly. Talking about the T20Is, England announced the squad. We've spoken about both the squads individually. Now, when we look at how they might match up or stack against each other. The last time these two sides, of course, took on in a limited overs contest was in 2022, which was also, Jalan Goswami's sort of... guard of honor was given and all of that, like you mentioned, off air. But what are some of the, key pointers that you're keeping an eye out for, when it comes to players especially? We'll start with Team India. Yeah. You know the squad. You know more or less the kind of 11 you can expect. Shefali Verma is now making a comeback. The last time India played T20Is early on in Jan and then last December. Nahi thi tab. Happy with Shefali Verma's inclusion, I would imagine. But how do you then see that 11 shaping up?
Yeah, I mean, again, an interesting one to probably start off our discussion here because Shefali Verma getting included was definitely a sign of good things to come. For the longest time, I think I've vouched for, looking at players for specific formats. Shefali Verma perfectly fits that bill, has performed like exceedingly well in the domestics, kind of warrant her place in the side, has done well in the WPL. And to just see her, being considered, being given that contract and looked at as an option for this series is good, right? She's definitely a lock-in with Smriti Mandana to open. Even the rest of the batting, we don't have the likes of Uma Chetri, you don't have Raghavi Bish and all of them.
Yeah.
So probably India will go with Harleen and number 3, or do you still see them, wanting to get a Jemima there at number 3? Because right now she's been doing well at number 5. There's no reason why they would want to, again, mix up with that, but Harman is definitely at
4. Yeah, that goes without saying. Harman, Richa at 4 and 6 respectively, I think are lock-ins. Yeah. About 3 and 5, I think they will be sticking to Jemmy at 5. I don't see them tinkering with it because that's been Jemmy's best position for the last 2-3 years. She's been great over there, averaging in excess of 30, striking in excess of 140. Those are phenomenal numbers for any batter, let alone someone batting at number 5, who is in general expected to be a lot more aggressive.
So Harleen makes her cut, right? That's number 3 right now with the options.
I mean, Harleen is my number 3 not by choice. Abhi jo squad hai, there aren't too many other batting options that I would be looking at, which is why, unfortunately or fortunately for her, Harleen will be there. And she was a part of the series the last time these two sides played, if you remember that catch and all of it.
Iconic one.
Yeah, she went viral. So let's hope she gives us...
For the right reasons.
Yeah, and she gives us more reasons to hype her up this time as well.
And in the WPL, right, she actually did have a good run for Gujarat Giants, emerging as one of the, major positives as well. Although there were concerns with, the strike rate side of things. Was it, her batting position getting tinkered around all through the season? I think she's definitely going to be a lock-in for India at number 3.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, right? If you have a solid, top 6, top 7, it just gives something to your bowlers, because we did talk about previously as well that India's bowling, especially the pace reserves, does look a little thin, right? We were so excited to see Kashvi. She's ruled out.
Yep.
Kranti Gaud, again, this is her first overseas tour. It's obviously a lot to put on a young, young shoulder, just so much load. You also have the likes of Arundhati Reddy. We're missing Pooja Vastrikar. Renuka Singh Thakur is not there. Titash Sadhu is not there.
Amanjot Kaur is the third pacer, exactly. Let's just have the squad out. When you look at the names over here, I mean, there you go. You've got someone like a Saili Sadgare if you really want to sort of give someone a go as a pace bowling all-rounder, who I think is more of a bowling all-rounder than, say, an Amanjot Kaur. But England mein seedha jaake khilana as one of your second or third pacer. Aisa bhi nahi ki she won't be expected to bowl 4 overs. If she plays, she will be expected to bowl 4 overs. Nahi to Amanjot Kaur would invariably be your third pacer behind Kranti and Arundhati, and that also does not sit well with me. When you're playing in England, that too. Agar India mein bhi hota, I would have probably said, what spinners hai, let's make do with the spinners. But I don't think that will work just as well in England.
And probably another interesting name included here is that of Sneha Rana, right? I mean, making a comeback to the Indian limited over side after quite a long hiatus, right? I mean, the last I remember her is probably in that T20
World Cup 23. Yeah, 23 T20 World Cup was the last T20.
Yeah, so really pleased to see her being included. We've seen the kind of heroics, she can produce on English soil. I hope, she does get those opportunities. But does she slot in your playing 11 immediately? Because Deepti Sharma is definitely making the cut. But Sneha Rana again as your second spinner?
So, that's why now let's try and build the 11.
Chalo.
You've got Shefali, you've got Smriti. Harleen at number 3. Yastika is also a choice. We'll just put that out there.
Harman at 4.
Harman at 4, Jemmy at 5, Richa at 6. Your top 6 is sorted. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Amanjot.
Amanjot at 7. Deepthi at 8. 9, Arundhati.
Arundhati.
10, 11. Now I need one more pace at least.
Kranti?
Between Kranti and Sali, yeah, I'll go ahead with Kranti because at number 10, I don't need a batter.
Yeah.
I don't care if that person bats or not. Number 9, Arundhati, I think that's decent enough batting depth, given that you've got Amanjot and Deepthi at 7 and 8.
Exactly.
So 10, 11, you can go for 2 bowlers, and उसमें भी spinner में तो जो भी spinner आएगा bat करेगा. Sri Chani can handle herself with the bat. Radha Yadav can handle herself with the bat. Sneh Rana can handle herself with the bat. So you've got batting options there. So that pacer will invariably slot in at number 11. Kranti Gaud, it has to be. She's the only frontline pacer we have, bhai. No one else. We've only got pace bowling all-rounders, and then you've got Kranti Gaud. And I'm, of course, including Arundhati here as a pace bowling all-rounder. I know I might receive a lot of flack for that. About the spinner itself, we'll first have to look at the England squad to understand what kind of batters they have. And there you go. Some of the names have, like, when we try and build their 11 too, you've got someone like a Danny White opening for them, along with Sophia Dunkley. At least that was the pair they went ahead with for the West Indies games.
Yeah.
But that was when Heather Knight was batting at number 4. And unfortunately, her missing out now means they will have to try and rejig a bit of that order. They'll have to see who fits in.
And blood and a little bit of experience too in there, right?
That's true. So who are you looking at? Is Tammy Beaumont someone you would want to bring in, or would you look at someone like a Paige Schofield or someone else?
I think because this is a massive series versus India, Tammy Beaumont is like an experienced customer. I'd probably want her and Danny White to open. Use Sophia Dunkley somewhere in that middle order. Because
As a floater.
Yeah, as a floater. Nat Silverbrand comes in at 3. You have, probably Paige Schofield coming in at 4. Then you can have Sophia Dunkley coming in at 5, Alice Capsey at 6. Do you think that deepens the batting order as well? Gives you a little bit of bowling option too with Alice Capsey?
I'm just trying to think, for them to be able to do that, someone will have to go out. Like, if they directly replace Heather Knight with Tammy Beaumont, and if you want to squeeze Paige Schofield too, then Sophia Dunkley will have to miss out. So you can't add an extra batter, or else they'll have to then compromise on their bowling, which I don't think they can afford to at this point in time.
Yeah.
The bowling is something that they will want to strengthen as much as possible.
And the return of Sophie Eccleston has definitely helped their case, right? She's going to be spearheading that bowling attack, yeah.
That's true. Let's go with your lineup. You've got Tammy and Danny. Then at number 3, you've got Nat Silverbrand. Number 4, let's go ahead with Amy Jones. Okay. Number 5, Sophia Dunkley. I'm just trying to think they won't want to drop Sophia Dunkley. She didn't do too badly. Yeah. Especially in that third T20, if I'm not wrong, she got that 70-80 odd. So number 5, you've got Sophia Dunkley. Number 6, you've got Alice Capsey. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Now, number 8, I know it'll be Sophie Eccleston. 9, 10, 11.
M. Arlett.
M. Arlett is one of the pacers. Lindsay Smith, that's one of the names we'll have to discuss. Yeah. And you've got Lauren Bell, Lauren Filer too. So if they want 3 pacers, including Nat Silverbrand, they'll need 2 lower down. Between M and both the Laurens, they'll have to pick 2.
It's a tough call, actually.
Yeah, because each of them bring in value. They add a different dimension to their attack. Like when you look at Lauren Filer, it's that out and out pace. M. Arlett, she was really consistent. She was very metronomical, if I can say that. When it came to that West Indies series, at least, consistently bowling those in between lengths, making it harder for the pacers. Making it harder for the batters. Not very pacey, but you just need one of those kind of bowlers who can use the surface a bit. Lauren Bell, we know what she can do with the new ball. She's developed those in-swingers. She was always an outswing bowler, and now with the ball moving both ways, she can wreak havoc with the new ball. Now, who do they pick? So, 2 out of the 3. We'll get to that too. So, 2 out of the 3 pacers, Lindsay Smith, Sophie Eccleston. So, 8, 9, 10, 11 is done. Now, number 7. Who do they go? Like, I've always felt Freya Kemp as a name they should have been playing, but squad mein nahi hai wo. Filhal to uska chhod dete hain. So, squad mein bhi, when we look at some of the names over here, you've got someone like an Izzy Wong who's made a comeback. You've also got Charlie Dean. Of course, we missed out on Charlie Dean. So, if you want to play Lindsay Smith, it cannot be at the cost of Charlie Dean, right? Like, both will have to play. So, how do you then look at it?
Yeah, I think it's honestly going to be a tough one. I'm quite surprised we didn't talk about Charlie Dean. I think everyone is just obsessing so much on Sarah Glenn getting dropped that we didn't discuss Charlie Dean. I think, again, Charlie Dean has done, good deal for herself in the sense, she has been performing well consistently and can probably, make it into that side. But then you already have Sophie Eccleston and probably Lindsay Smith who are going to make it there. So for you, does it then become a case between Lindsay Smith versus Charlie Dean? And are you looking at it from that sense? Because definitely both can't make it in, right?
both cannot make it. I don't see how both make it in unless they give Sophie Eccleston a promotion and bat her at number 7. So I don't know if that will happen. If that doesn't happen, then maybe another choice they will have is Tammy Dani, number 3 Natsa Vibrant, number 4 Paige Caulfield, number 5 Sophia Dunkley, number 5 Amy Jones, number 6 Sophia Dunkley, number 7 Alice Capsey as your finisher. 8, 9, 10, 11, you go for 4 bowlers and Sophie Eccleston, 2 pacers. It can be any of them. And one of Lindsay Smith or Charlie Dean, and I'll go ahead with Charlie Dean. And we all remember what Charlotte Edwards said also on comms, if I'm not wrong. It was during the Vitality Blast, where she was like, Lindsay and Sophie are our best bowlers, period. So they will play. So going by her words, I would imagine both will play, along with 2 pacers. And now circling back to the India playing 11, we were talking about now, do they go ahead with Sneh Rana? Do they go ahead with a left-arm spinner in, say, Sri Charni or Radha Yadav? England's batting lineup, at least with the one that we've spoken about.
Light heavy.
Are there any left-handers? There are none.
Yeah, I think besides Freya Kemp, who's definitely not a part of the setup.
There's none. Like, top 3 to pata hi hai. There's none. You've got Paige, Amy, Alice, Sophia. None of them are left-handers. In fact, I don't think the playing 11 has a left-hander. Come to think of it, because Sophie Eccleston is right, I know Emma Litt is right, I know Lauren Filer is right. Lauren Bell, for some reason, I think is left-handed. Irrespective, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so I guess maybe then going for a left-arm spinner almost becomes imperative. You don't want to, you at least want to have that matchup option. You might not use it extensively.
Then someone like a Radha Yadav or Sri Charni can really make a case for themselves ahead of Sneh Rana.
Yeah, I would actually go to Sri Charni.
Okay.
Notwithstanding the fact that, you know, Radha Yadav offers that package, great fielder, can offer some value with the bat. Sri Charni bowling ke saath acha karti hai, and I need someone who bowls well. Like I said, number 10 pe tum batting nahi bhi karoge, chalega meko. Radha's fielding definitely makes me think, makes me think, because that is a great value add, long on, long off pe, hotspots mein agar aap apne sare catches pakadte ho, that goes a long way in helping you win games. But looking at their primary skills, I would go ahead with Sri Charni. She wasn't too bad in the latter half of the WPL, wasn't too bad in the tri-series, and clearly these people rate them. Very clearly. Despite her being so young, they've gone ahead with her.
Cricket, cricket, cricket.